guys, it's Kimberlee, and today I'm going to be talking all about my airbrush makeup machine. And I featured this in my other video. If you haven't seen it, my what I got for Christmas video, because this was a Christmas gift to me. And yeah, so this right here is my airbrush machine in all of its glory. I love this machine. I used to have one of those small, if you're interested in makeup, in airbrush makeup, I'm sure you've seen them before, one of those just small like box ones, and it was nice and I could use it on myself for airbrush makeup, but I am a cosmetologist, I work in a salon, and I do makeup on clients sometimes, and when they want airbrush makeup, we have a machine at work, and it's a big one just like this, and it works great, but sometimes multiple of us need to do it or whatever, and so I'm so excited that I have this one because this is much better for like professional use on other people. It is much more powerful. It is much bigger. As you can see, it is not a cute little pink box. This is a big piece of machinery, and I absolutely love it. So the airbrush machine I got is the Master Airbrush, and this is the model TC20. So with the machine, which I really love, it has these little rubber feet, because if you don't know, when you turn on an airbrush machine, it rattles and vibrates and it makes a good amount of noise, and if you put it on a hardwood table and it doesn't have those rubber feet, it's only gonna make the noise so much more. So along with my machine also came this little clear box right here, and inside this box was my gun. I have it out because I have it attached to my machine right here. So this is the gun, and the gun is the model G22, and it comes with another nozzle, a little wrench for taking it apart, a dropper for cleaning it, and there's some paperwork back there on the gun itself. But I like that it has this hard plastic case that I can put my gun in, so if I'm traveling with it, I will not ruin it or break anything. So that is so convenient. So the gun that I have right here, you can see it is attached to this tube. I'm going to unscrew it so I can show it to you guys. It says Master Airbrush right on the side there. Don't know if you can see that or not, but it just says it on the side. And it's got this really big barrel right here, which I love because this is where you put the product in. You can see it's got a little bit of foundation in the bottom from doing my makeup today. And so you just drop the foundation right in there, and this is the spout that it comes out of, and you can actually unscrew this piece. You can unscrew this piece right here, and then there you can see the needle. So my gun that this came with is actually a dual action gun, which is super nice, and for those of you who don't know what that means that this button right here, this is your trigger. You push it down for the air to come out, and you pull it back for the product to come out. So you can actually turn the air on so the person can get the feel of what the blowing of the air feels like before you actually let any product come out. That is super convenient because a lot of clients who've never been airbrushed before or not been airbrushed with a machine as strong might not be expecting it. When the air blows on their face, they might jump, and you don't want to have any mishaps with the foundation. So that is very nice. Also, because it's dual action and the airflow actually shuts off, with a lot of other airbrush machines, the airflow is continuous, and when you press the button, the foundation will come out. Because the air will stop, my machine will actually stop vibrating because it has a pressure reserve. So once it builds up the pressure, it will shut off, and until you press that button and release the pressure, then it will kick itself back on just to keep the pressure going. So that's really convenient too, because you don't have that rattling noise going the whole time once you set down this, or if you have to take a breather for them, you don't have that noise keep going and going and going. It's only going on when you're actually spraying the foundation. So that is very nice. Another important thing to note, this, just like any other airbrush gun, you can screw the back off. This is the back of the needle. Unscrew this. I'm not going to do it all right now, but you can take the needle out to clean it, to clean the inside. It's super, super duper important to make sure you clean your airbrush machine after every time you use it. and make sure it's nice and wiped down thoroughly, because any foundation that is stuck inside on this really thin needle or in the little channel on the inside, it will gunk up, it will block it, and your machine will not spray right. It will be chunky, or it will just be totally clogged and not spray at all. So it is super important to clean it after every time you use it. So yeah, and it's got some nice weight to it. It is a great gun. I love it. So this is the gun it came with. And then for the actual machine itself, you can see right here these two black pieces coming out right there. That is actually a cool little piece that it came with so that you can rest your gun in it. And it has a spot for two guns. So if you were, had two guns because you wanted to have two colors, switch on and off fast, then that would be very convenient for you. It also has a handle to hold it by. It does need to be plugged into the wall. It is not a battery operated system. It is super powerful and needs to be plugged in, which mine is actually plugged in to the wall behind me as I'm holding it, and it has a super long cord. As you can see, I have it all wrapped around. It's behind the backdrop, so it is a pretty decently long cord, which is awesome. And it has just a little on and off switch right here. And it has a pressure gauge, so you can see how much pressure is in it, and it will stay up even when it's not rattling if you haven't clicked your button. And when you click it, you will see the thing go down, and it will bring itself back up because the machine will turn back on, which is nice. This is the little canister to keep out the humidity, which is amazing that it has all those features. And then this is the hose that your gun gets connected to. So it has a little screw on the bottom to connect to the gun, and look at how much hose this thing comes with. That is awesome. So, which means that you are going to, a lot of airbrush machines come with really short hoses, so the gun and the whole machine has to actually be super close to the client that you're working on, super close to their face for you to be able to reach and move around freely. This is super long. I could have it on the ground and work on somebody who is standing. This is an awesome feature so that I don't have to worry about how close I am to an outlet or the person. This machine is amazing. Okay, so I am just gonna turn the machine on for you for just a couple seconds so that you can hear how loud it is and the noise that it makes. So here we go. So you could hear it rattled, and then it shut itself off because it filled up with pressure. Since I am not releasing any air out of the gun, it does not need to continue making that noise. When I press down the button, you'll hear the air come out and it will click back on. And then when I unclick it, it builds the pressure up and stops again. So that being said, this is a seriously amazing machine. When I first did my makeup with it, I was not expecting how much air there is. Like, there is so much air pressure when this goes against your face. It is at first a little strange because you don't feel like you're like, ooh, definitely could be something you're not expecting, but it is so nice. It really helps to give that very even brush of makeup over your skin, and it really makes you look flawless. This is an amazing compressor and gun. So for the makeup that I used, this is what I got. It's the Bellachio Airbrush foundation. I'm not exactly sure how to say that. It's both the machine and the makeup I know were gotten off of Amazon, so that's exciting. And in this pack, it comes with 4 different shades. This is the tan, so it comes in, you can get a fair, a medium, a tan, or a dark pack. This comes with 4 different shades of foundation and a airbrush makeup anti-aging moisturizing primer. So I have used the primer before. I didn't use it today. I don't think you have to use the primer. It's nice, but it's also another step because you have to clean it out of your machine. So I like to use my regular primer and then just airbrush my makeup over it, but you could definitely use this, and I like it. It's not bad. So, but as for the makeup goes, this is the shade I used today, and it is the shade Latte, but it also comes with Mocha, Cocoa, which is real dark, and Honey Beige. So it gives you a nice little range of colors, so you can always mix them or use one if it's your shade, but it's nice because obviously buying makeup online is very difficult to match your shades, so it's nice that they give you 4 different shades that you can mix and match or use on their own. That being said, I did do a little demo for you guys, which I will play in a minute, but because the machine does make noise and it does rattle, I don't know how well you're going to be able to hear me talk, so I'm going to play that and play music over it, but I'm going to tell you everything beforehand. So a little tip and a trick is if you need to mix 2 shades together, there's this thing called back bubbling that you can do. Now, I didn't do this because I'm using just 1 shade, but if you need to use 2 shades or whatever on a client, this is something you could do, which is great. So you take your little canister and you can squirt a couple of drops of the one and a couple of drops of the other into this, and put your finger over the nozzle and then click the button to let the air go out, and it will trap the air and make the air come out of the canister, which will actually bubble it. Like if you blow into a straw into a cup of soda, all the bubbles come up. It's the same concept, and that will mix the foundations in the pot together for you, so you don't need to mix them outside and then put them in, which is a really helpful trick to know. Also, when you airbrush, it's really important to stay a couple of inches away from the face and to never stop the motion of hand. You want to keep going in circular motions and work your way around the face. If you keep it in one spot for too long, you'll get like a splatter effect because it will pool up too much foundation in one area and it'll get really wet and like a little like drippy, and you don't want that. It does not look good on anybody. So it's important to keep your hand moving, and the further away you are from the face, the lighter of a spray it's going to be, more blown out, more thin you could say, and the closer to the face you're going to be, it's going to be more precise. So if you have a problem area, a pimple, you want to go in a little bit closer, do circular motions and work your way out, and then continue on the face, and that will give you the most concentrated coverage in that area, and then you'll blow it out and cover everywhere else. So those are a couple of things to keep in mind when you're using your airbrush machine at home or on clients or whoever you're using it on. And yeah, so also cream products do not always mix with airbrush makeup that well. It depends, some do, some might not, like a cream concealer or a cream contour. So I advise you to put that on first and then airbrush the foundation over top. That way you're not like smearing and mushing together the two, it's just laying on top. So yeah, those are my tips and tricks. Now, without further ado, it is definitely easier to see than to be told. So here is my demo. This is me putting on my makeup today, and I hope you guys like it. Thanks for watching. Okay, so before I go in with the actual airbrush machine, I am going to conceal first and then brush my foundation over it with the machine, because the liquidy makeup that you have to put in the machine sometimes does not mix well with cream products when you put them over, so it's a good idea if you're going to use a cream concealer like I am, my Naked Skin by Urban Decay. It's nice to put it down underneath and then just brush the makeup on top so that you don't have any weird patchiness or any problems mixing the two together. So that's what I'm going to do right now. Okay, so now that I have my concealer all on, I did just where I usually put concealer and then covered up my problem areas. And so now I'm going to go in with my machine. Like I said, I'm not going to try and talk while the machine's on. I'm going to talk before because it does make a little bit of noise. It's not too bad, but it does make some noise. So this is my gun. I'm going to take the cap off right here, and I'm going to take my makeup in the shade Latte right here. Give it a real good shake. And I'm gonna put a good 5 or 6 drops in there. Probably more than I needed, but oh well. A little of this goes a long way. And then I'm just going to turn it on and keep my hand moving in circular motions. In my problem area, it's going to go a little bit closer because that'll give me more coverage, and a little bit further away everywhere else so that I get just a nice even coverage over my whole face. And so this is how I apply my airbrush makeup. Okay, so that's it. That's how it looks. Airbrush makeup is very, very natural looking. When you airbrush makeup, that's why a lot of people like it for, you know, weddings, things like that. It lasts very long and it is very natural and just beautiful. It just gives your skin a little veil, you could say, of makeup, of tint over it, and it's beautiful. There are definitely liquid foundations that are so much more full coverage and just very intense. Airbrush makeup, you can get different makeups that are more coverage or less coverage or whatever you want, but in my opinion, airbrush makeup really shines its best when you're using it for a natural type situation. And so yeah, this is what we've got here. It looks like skin. It is definitely doesn't look cakey, doesn't look like I have makeup on. Everything just looks very even in skin tone and looks very natural. Now, because it lays it on so thin and a little bit of product goes a long way, it's very dry, it's not tacky, it almost feels like a powder finish. So I don't need to go overboard and really powder everything, but I am going to powder the areas that I concealed just because we have that extra layer there and that was a thicker liquid. So I'm going to go ahead and do that with my Rimmel Stay Matte powder. Okay, and now just like normal, I'm gonna finish up the rest of my face and I will be right back. Alright, so that is it for today's video. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you liked it, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.